Asanteni sana kila mmoja wenu. Huu ni mkutano muhimu sana. Tumekuwa na mikutano mingi muhimu leo, lakini huu ni wa kipekee kwa sababu unahusu mustakabali wa michezo ya vyuo vikuu na hata mustakabali wa vyuo vyenyewe. Kwa sasa tunaona takwimu zinazotia wasiwasi. Fedha nyingi sana zinatumika na vyuo vingi vinapoteza mamilioni ya dola, licha ya kuwa ni vyuo vilivyokuwa vinafanya vizuri hapo awali. Na ukweli ni kwamba hali hii inaweza kuwa mbaya zaidi kama hatutachukua hatua mapema. Kwa hiyo tunahitaji kuokoa michezo ya vyuo vikuu, lakini pia tunahitaji kuokoa vyuo vyenyewe. Pia tunahitaji kulinda mustakabali wa timu yetu ya Olimpiki. Michezo mingi ya Olimpiki imekuwa ikitegemea wanamichezo waliotoka vyuoni. Bila mfumo huu, nchi yetu inaweza kupoteza ushindani wake kwenye Olimpiki. Ndiyo maana mkutano huu ni muhimu sana. Leo tumekusanya watu muhimu sana kutoka katika ulimwengu wa michezo ya vyuo na pia viongozi wa kisiasa. Lengo ni kusikia mawazo na mapendekezo yenu ili tupate suluhisho. Kama itahitajika, tunaweza hata kutumia amri ya rais, lakini pia tunaweza kupitia bunge ili kupata sheria itakayodumu kwa muda mrefu. Tunataka kulinda moja ya taasisi kubwa na inayopendwa sana nchini Marekani, michezo ya vyuo vikuu. Lakini sasa, mfumo huu uko kwenye hatari kubwa. Kwa sasa, kuna changamoto kubwa kuhusu sheria za nani anaruhusiwa kucheza, uhamisho wa wachezaji, na pia mfumo wa mapato kupitia jina, picha na umaarufu wa mchezaji. Pia kuna kesi nyingi sana mahakamani ambazo zinafanya mambo kuwa magumu zaidi. Miaka michache iliyopita, kulikuwa na uamuzi wa mahakama uliobadilisha kabisa mfumo uliokuwepo kwa muda mrefu sana. Na tangu wakati huo, mambo mengi yamebadilika. Kwa mfano, sasa tunaona vijana wadogo sana wakisaini mikataba mikubwa ya mamilioni ya dola wakiwa bado vyuoni. Kuna hata wachezaji ambao hawataki kwenda kwenye ligi kubwa kama NFL kwa sababu wanapata fedha nyingi zaidi wakiwa vyuoni. Haya ni mambo ambayo hatujawahi kuyaona hapo awali. Matokeo yake ni kwamba vyuo vingi sasa vinaanza kupata hasara kubwa sana katika idara zao za michezo. Baadhi ya vyuo tayari vimeripoti kupoteza mamia ya dola kwa mwaka mmoja tu. Na kama hakuna suluhisho litakalopatikana, hali inaweza kuwa mbaya zaidi katika miaka ijayo. Kwa sasa, vyuo havina kikomo cha mishahara kama ilivyo kwenye ligi za kitaalamu. Na bila kuwepo kwa mfumo wa udhibiti, mashindano ya kifedha yanaweza kuharibu kabisa mfumo wa michezo ya vyuo. Lengo letu si kurudisha kabisa mfumo wa zamani ambapo wanamichezo hawakupata chochote. Lakini tunahitaji mfumo mpya ambao utalinda mustakabali wa michezo ya vyuo na pia kuhakikisha mfumo huu unadumu kwa vizazi vijavyo. Ndiyo maana tumekutana hapa leo. Tunataka kusikia mawazo yenu na mapendekezo yenu ili tupate suluhisho. Kwa sababu kama mfumo huu utaendelea kama ulivyo sasa, vyuo vingi vinaweza kushindwa kuhimili gharama zake. Na hilo ndilo tunalotaka kulizuia. Asanteni sana.
We had a lot of important meetings today, but this is a big one because this is really the future of, I think, beyond college sports. This is the future of colleges because we're looking at numbers that are coming in and the amount of money being spent and lost by otherwise very successful schools is astounding just in a short period of time. It's only going to get worse. So we have to save college sports and save, I believe, colleges. We have to save our Olympic team because so many sports that are in the Olympics will no longer be represented by people that went through college and became competitive, became great at the sport. We won't be anywhere near what we were. I think it's just a very, very important meeting. We have the most important people in college sports and really beyond. And what I'd like to do is I'll say a few words. I'm going to ask Marco and a few to also say a few words. And I'd like to take your suggestions. And we have the speaker. We have John Thune is here or represented. We have some of the big politicians, senators, Congress people that can make it get approved. Because we have to go through, I I'd do an executive order. I'd love to do that. I'll probably do it anyway. We'll do an executive order. We'll see how it works, because it would be I have a really nice, simple idea. But we'll go through this process, and I think we'll get it through Congress. We have a good chance. I think it'll be very bipartisan. And I just want to thank you all for being here as we stand up for one of America's greatest and most beloved institutions. It's called college athletics, which is true, means so much. I want to thank Secretaries Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Doug Burgum, Howard Lutnick, Linda McMahon for being here, and also Speaker of the House Mike Johnson doing a great job, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senators Ted Cruz, Eric Schmidt, Leader Steve Scalise, Representatives Lisa McClain, Jim Jordan, Brett Guthrie, and Lori Trahan. Thank you all for being here. We have some great people. Condoleezza, thank you very much. I see you over there. Great to have you. Great to be with you. A very special welcome to New York Yankees President Randy Levine, friend of mine for a long time. I used to sit with George Steinbrenner in the box. It was one of the most difficult days of my life. I would always be, he liked me, I liked him, but we both liked very few other people. And we had a good time. We won a lot of games, right, Randy?
We never lost.
We never lost, actually. And a great champion of college athletics, former, as I just said, Secretary of State, a woman who's really respected, Condoleezza Rice. Thank you very much again, Condoleezza. And Ron DeSantis has been working very hard with us, and wherever you may be, Ron, hi, Ron, and has some great ideas and some great coaches that gave him some great ideas. We're gathered today to discuss an important threat to the integrity and culture of college sports, the inability to set rules on eligibility, transfers, name, image, and likeness, and much more than that, in the face of endless lawsuits. And it's what's going on with the legal community is incredible. We had a lawsuit a couple of years ago by a radical left judge from California who decided, knowing nothing about football or college sports, that everything was illegal that was taking place. And I don't think it was ever appealed. Nobody can find out if it was appealed or not. But you can win an appeal. I think I win more cases on appeal than I do in front of some judges that are not very good. But it was a horrible, incredible ruling. And it threw the sports world and the college athletic world into tithers. And that's where we are right now. It's crazy things are happening. Young people are being signed, 17-year-old quarterbacks, for $12 million, $13 million, $14 million. We have a 7-year freshman. We have people, we're seeing things that we've never seen before. We have college players that don't want to go to the NFL because they're making more money in college, right, Jim Jordan? And a lot of really bad things are happening. But basic questions like who is eligible to play are now virtually unregulated and decided randomly by judges rather than by reasonable, agreed-upon rules that could be very simple and very simply drawn. So this has grown into a major challenge. We actually have some of the best sports agents here because I think they'd like to see it solved, but maybe not. I'm not 100% sure about that. But they're represented. We have everybody represented today, just about every group you can think of. But it's grown into a major challenge that threatens the future of college sports and really colleges themselves, because many are going to go down the tubes. It was announced that Penn State, their athletic division, lost $535 million this last year. Florida State, Ron and I spoke about it, $440 million loss. It was just announced that Rutgers lost $95 million, and they're doing all sorts of things to try and save the ship. And I think those numbers are nothing compared to what's going to happen. This is new. This just happened. Those numbers are going to go to levels that nobody's ever seen before. If you had no salary cap in the NFL, you'd see staggering losses. We have no salary cap in colleges. Colleges are going to have, unless something's done, unless we solve this problem. And I think probably today, and we're going to ask for ideas that, not that we don't have to take months. We'd like to see if we could do it for next season. But we certainly have the brain power. We have tremendous knowledge, far more knowledge than I have about this subject. But it also poses special dangers for women's sports and our Olympic pipeline. Women's sports are being canceled all over the country, just so we understand. Women's sports are in deep trouble, other than one particular women's team. That's Miami, where I have my granddaughter on the team. They canceled men's golf, but women's golf is doing just fine. I'm only kidding. But they are canceling golf, they're canceling wrestling, they're canceling fencing, they're canceling even basketball. I thought that would be maybe immune, but it's in trouble. And it's all going to football, but ultimately football is going to be the worst laggard of all. It's not going to be affordable, and it's going to take down practically every college. In my opinion, it's going to take down virtually every college, or every college that wants to be, they think they want to be competitive. Under the current system, educational institutions find themselves in a financial arms race for athletes in sports like football and basketball, and both of them, but basketball is being hurt very badly. It's being dominated by football. Last July, I signed an executive order to stop destructive pay-for-play schemes that are all over the place and keep college athletics rooted in the traditions that made it great. I thought we had a great system, frankly. I thought we had a system that should have been appealed, and it could have been maybe perfected a little bit, but it took close to 100 years. It was developed over 100 years, and one judge that knew nothing about sports, knew nothing about football, knew nothing about Olympics, knew nothing about anything, just decided everything was unconstitutional. It's crazy. But only Congress now, it looks like, can deliver a permanent fix. So, Speaker, you and John and everybody else, including Democrats that are represented very strongly, we can hopefully get it done. Federal legislation must allow college athletic programs to set common sense rules, simple common sense rules, without endless litigation, and establish a fair name, image, and likeness standard that eliminates the patchwork of conflicting state laws. That's the other problem. All of these colleges, they're all in different states, and all the laws are different. So you got laws that are totally different, some one way, some an entirely different way, while allowing the full spectrum of college athletic programs to thrive. It should thrive. If Congress does not take action fast, it could destroy college sports and destroy the colleges that play these sports. They'll be destroyed. They'll be going bankrupt. Everyone, so many of them. No other nation in the world has built a system that develops champions in classrooms and on the field, producing Olympic heroes, professional legends, and the leaders of tomorrow all at once. I thought the system of scholarships was great. What do I know? But I thought it was great. And just one of those things. I was with Nick Saban the other day, and, his timing is exquisite. He played, and he won and won and won. And when he saw this thing, he said, I'm going to get out of it. I'm not doing this anymore. He's around here someplace. Where's Nick? Where are you, Nick? Right? Now, he doesn't admit this. I said, how come you left he didn't want to go through one season? Because there's no better mind at this than that man. And he looked and he said, what a shame, what a shame. And he's going to speak about it. And I think you have some very constructive ideas, Nick. I think so. No other nation in the world has built a system like this. It's so good, and we've thrown it right out the window. And I'd like to see you go back to something maybe resembling that, and maybe pay for each player. Not such crazy pay, but just pay for each player. With every player, maybe the quarterback and the third string lineman making the same. But you're going to tell us about it. We're going to try and get it passed. Our goal is not to go back to the days where student athletes were never allowed to receive any compensation, although not the worst idea, but I think a lot of people would overrule me on that. But we must pass reforms that protect the cherished American tradition of college athletics for future generations. So I look forward to hearing from a lot of you, and I think a few of you are going to say a few words, and then we'll get to some ideas. And I don't know, maybe by the end of a long session, if we need it, I'm here as long as you need me. They came to me, they said, "You're the only one that can do it." I said, "Oh, thank you very much." I said, "Really, because I'm president," okay, to be honest. But we have certain abilities, so we'll see if we can get it done. So I'll ask in this order. Marco, you'll say a few words, and then Speaker Johnson, Randy Levine, Nick Saban, Charlie Baker, the Governor Ron DeSantis, and Greg Sankey, Sarah Hirschland, and Pete Bavacqua. And they'll go pretty quickly, and then we'll hear from some of the people, and we may have something come up that's somewhat of a miracle. There's an idea out there, and somehow it's going to have to be arrived at, because there's no way this system will allow colleges to, in my opinion, will allow schools to live financially. It's not going to happen. So if I could, I'll ask Marco, you can start, and then Speaker, and then we'll go through the list, and then we'll take some ideas or questions. All right? Thank you very much, Marco.
Thank you, Mr.